What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we're talking about how to make gold with enchanting. This video will be coming out about at the same time as raids come out in the War Within. It kinda depends on the region you play in, because EU or Europe gets their raid one day later than North America. That being said, I have been making a bunch of gold with enchanting so far, and when the raid opens up and Mythic Plus opens up and regular Mythics as well, people will be much more inclined and much more incentivized to actually enchant their gear. So I am already making a bunch of gold with enchanting, and I expect that when the raids are out and mythic dungeons are out, even mythic plus next week, the actual sell rate for enchants will go up even more, and we can make more gold as well with enchanting. Now let's talk about exactly how I make gold with enchanting. So the first thing to do when you're doing enchanting and making gold with enchanting, well, we're talking about making enchants first of all here. There's multiple ways to make gold with enchanting, but number one is enchants themselves, and for that you have to pick a path. So be decisive, check out which ones you want to make, and pick a path based on that. On this character I'm expecting to making tools, that is for example the enchants for finesse, perception, ingenuity, all of those enchants for profession tools, which made me a lot of gold the first week by the way. Not so much anymore, but definitely a lot of gold in the first week. Now if you want to be more focused on the PvE aspect of the game, or even just like upgrading armor pieces by increasing throughput, then for example going up here to wondrous weapons will first of all give you the Authority of Storms formula, and then make you better at making that weapon enchantment and earthen weapon enchantments in general. You also have the bolstered breastplate, so earthen chest armor. Down here you have the fortified flames, which has most of the weapon enchants in the game, and then you have the accentuated accessories, you have cursed chants, and finally you have tertiary trivialities. Now exactly which path you should go for I can't really tell you, the profitability here will go up and down all the time. All I will say is go to the enchants and try to find out which ones are good for you. You can even search up for earthen enchants for example, so just type in earth, and then you will see all of the earthen enchantments in here, and then you know what you can expect to get from going down that tree. Same thing goes for the Nerubian as well. If you go for Nerubian like this, you will see all of the Nerubian enchants at the moment, and the ones that I don't have access to as well. So for example, one of the weapon enchants coming from the raid is actually a Nerubian weapon enchant, which might be very good in single player situations I believe, but we still have for example the radiant power and those enchants as well. So going down to weapon enchantments, we have the Authority of Radiant Power, which is arguably going to be the best enchant for most people, dropping from a dungeon right now, and it's even sellable. So you can buy this recipe and start pumping out those enchants. And for this one you would have to have Arathor alterations and fortified flames if you want to make this at the highest skill that you want, and that is down here and then down here as well. So Arathor alterations and then fortified flame to the left afterwards. Now the things to note for enchanting is that you will have three separate ways to make gold. Number one is to power through with high quality materials and guarantee high quality enchants. If I, for example, right now go to finesse enchants, I can actually guarantee this by using the best materials available at all times. I would have to transfer the war bank, so let me just do that real quick so I can show you guys that when you have all the blue tools, I currently have quality 5 blue tool, quality 5 blue accessory, and this one quality 4 blue accessory as well. So we have gotten all 3 blue ones, and we have a bunch of knowledge points as well. For the KPs, all you need to do is put in 40 plus 30 points, so 70 points, and then you just spend the other acuity to upgrade your tools, and then you can actually guarantee rank 3 enchants using rank 3 materials. So version number 1 to make gold is by pushing through and making high quality enchants, as I just said, and in this case that would be the Algari Finesse, Ingenuity, or even Perception enchants, and then find out which one sells the best for me. Now I am at 482 skill out of 480 skill, so we're 2 above where we need to be. Now I can downgrade 1 dust here to get to exactly 480, and we can still make this item. In this case the crafting cost for me at the moment is 6,400, and if we go over here and go to enchant tool Algari just to see all of them, Over here for quality 3, For ingenuity, for example, or perception, I'm currently looking at perception anyway, so for perception, this one cost me 6,300 gold to craft, and it is currently selling for 7,900 gold on the auction house. That means that for every single sale, I am making about 1,500 gold profit, and this is baseline profit, because this is to craft the item, and I can actually make a lot more gold here by proccing resourcefulness, which we're going to talk about in a little bit as well. So method number 1 for me is to guarantee quality 3 craft outcomes by using the highest quality reagents that you can, but in order to do this you have to have at least 2 blue tools. You can, if you're a blood elf, get by having 2 blue tools, but for most people you need to have 3 blue tools, so like 1 tool and 2 accessories, all of them being blue. If you're a blood elf, you could actually be fine by only having 1 of them. Or I mean by only having 2 of them. Now method number 2 to make gold is, instead of focusing on quality 3, you focus on quality 2. So you downgrade the materials here as much as you can and focus on shaving in on the crafting cost. In this case, I am so far above being able to make Q2 enchants that I would also use Q1, but I don't really have that many Q1 materials, and you don't save that much because Q1 and Q2 are basically the same price, but if I can downgrade this dust to Q1 as well, we can save another 100 gold. In that case, we can make perception rank 2 guaranteed and just keep downgrading the materials as much as we can and still guarantee quality 2, and in that case we can make this for about 3,400 right now, and on the auction house this one is not really worth making because it's selling for the exact same, or even sometimes you are even losing gold. As of right now I'm losing gold, for example, if I make this item. That being said, if I downgrade my dust from quality 2 to quality 1, I could make a little bit of gold, but like after the auction house cut, that gold is taken away anyway. But once again, that is baseline. We also have resourcefulness, 26%, and we can proc more resourcefulness as well. I can get this to over 30% when I'm doing enchants. Now, method number 3 to make gold is to do the exact same thing we just talked about, downgrade the materials as much as you can, at least do Q2 materials instead of Q3, and then use concentration, so you spend way less gold per craft and you make way more profit by guaranteeing quality 3 with lesser materials. In this case, this would cost me 3,400 gold to make, and I would profit over 4,000 gold. Once again, this 4,000 gold profit margin is that's 4,000 gold for 200 concentration. So for a full concentration for me, that would be like, what, 20,000 gold? If I did my math correctly, so 20,000 gold. And that is once again the baseline profit. That is the crafting cost versus the actual selling price at the moment, and then that's my profit. We can make way more profit than that by using resourcefulness while enchanting as well. So let's talk about that part, because now we have talked about what enchants to do, kind of, and what qualities to focus on. At this point, when you have picked a path in Everlasting Enchantments, you do 30, 20, and 20, alternatively do any other path you want, but the end result will be 30 plus 20 plus 20 in one branch. Once you have done that branch, the next thing you will be specking into is Supplementary Shattering, and this one will give you different benefits when you shatter an essence. In the middle here, you will get both Resourcefulness, Multicraft, and Ingenuity. Over here, you can spec further into Resourcefulness to save more materials, so by fully maxing this one out, you get 5% more materials back, another 10%, so 15%, 10% more, 25%, and over here 25% more. So not only do we have more resourcefulness now, we are saving 50% more materials when we proc that resourcefulness. We save so much sometimes. I have made a regular tool enchant, like for example Perception, and I have saved every single dust. I'm saving 25 dusts on one enchant. Do you have any idea how much gold that saves? That is 2,500 gold saved from proccing resourcefulness, and once again we have 26% baseline. Now, in order to proc these benefits that you get from Supplementary Shattering, you have to actually shatter an essence. So over here I have bought a bunch of Leyline Residue and Crystalline Powder, and for Crystalline Powder it's 3 gold each. So I'm currently right now spending 3 gold, and this buff right here gives gives me 120 resourcefulness, 30 ingenuity, and 30 multicraft. We are currently working on getting that ingenuity up even more as well. So going back to an enchant now with this buff, instead of having 26%, we now have 31%. And when it procs, we save a bunch of materials. So every time before you do an enchant, when you have spec'd into this spec, remember to shatter an essence. It is really helpful. So for example, for me, I have a bunch of alts that are spec'd into 1 tree each, and I'm pumping out all types of enchants by using my concentration. Once again, when you have a bunch of skill points, you actually don't spend that much concentration here. Going down to Q2 materials once again, I can pump out the enchants at less than 200 concentration each when I just use Q2 materials. So on my other alts, for example, we can make weapon enchants and sell them for about 7k profit each for about 200 concentration over there as well. That is 7 times 5, so 35,000 gold every 3.5 days per character, only from enchanting. Enchanting is actually a very good profession to have for an alt army, for example, especially at the moment, and enchants selling this well and for this much profit at the moment using concentration before the raid is out is a very good sign. So when the raid comes out, both on normal difficulty, heroic, mythic, and mythic plus dungeons eventually, the demand for enchants is just going to keep going up, and I can therefore sell more materials, make more, sell more enchants, make more enchants, and just keep selling more enchants as well. We sell more, we make more, it's all supply and demand. So for that purpose, I have a bunch of different characters spec'd into many different things, and from my experience so far, the best ones to spec into, which I'm gonna mention here, even though that might butcher my sales, is bolstered breastplates are doing really well, fortified flames are doing really well, and the cursed chants are also doing really well. Now, because I say that, maybe they start doing less well and the other ones catch up again, so who really knows? Just do some research on which ones you want to go into, but at the moment, those are the 3 that makes me the most gold. So once again, bolstered breastplates, fortified flames, and the cursed chants. Now, so far, we have only talked about the everlasting enchantments and supplementary shattering part here. In ephemerals, enrichment, and equipment, you have a couple of hidden tips and tricks. Tip and trick number 1 is to spec into deceptive decorations exactly the way I have. Put 5 points in and then 15 points in. For 20 points, you will get all of those points back through first time craft from Gleeful Glamour, and every time you make one of these after learning them, it's a first time craft, you get a knowledge point back. But not only that, it is also a recipe not taught to you by the trainer, so you get artisan's acuity. Now, doing all of them, you get 22 of them, I believe, so it's 110 acuity back, and 22 knowledge points. So by spending 20 knowledge points, you get 22 back, so technically 2 for free, and you get 110 acuity on top. In addition to that, you skill up enchanting while doing so, especially if you start doing this at like 25 skill, you can get to about 45-50 by doing all of them, and most of your enchanting crafting orders will be those items, like the Gleeful Glamour. Pretty much all of them will be, so you kind of want to have this one either way to do your crafting orders in enchanting, even though for enchanting there's no knowledge points in the crafting orders, it's only acuity, but if you want to have all of the blue tools and accessories, you need that acuity anyway, and there's no reason not to spec into this. Now, apart from that, you can also make a bunch of gold by going into weapon oils. So over here you will learn how to make the oil of Beledar's Grace, and if you max this out and you get more skills while making weapon oils, there's another weapon oil you can buy for, I think you can buy it, right? There's one oil. Oil of Deep Toxins, this one, you can buy in Ashkahet for 150 acuity, and this one is doing really well at the moment. It's selling for a lot of gold, and it's really good as well, especially on Q3. It's selling for 500 gold each, and it's a DPS weapon oil. And because you have to buy a recipe for it, and the recipe costs acuity, which you already need way too much of as an enchanter, not a lot of people are buying this or like buying the recipe to make this at the moment. It's a very low competitive market at the very moment. Now, in order to do this effectively, you would first of all want to spec into oils, obviously, but you also want to spec into a supplementary shattering for multicraft. So for that one, you can actually benefit from both resourcefulness, ingenuity, and multicraft. So to be the best oil maker, you have to put in so many points into the oils first. You would want to do 30 points here, then you want to do 20 points here, then 20 points here, and after that you literally benefit from everything in this talent tree. That is another 120 points that you have to spend to be the best at making oils, right? And you would then benefit from multicraft, even though you only benefit at certain points. Over here, multicraft will grant up to 25% additional goods, but only when crafting deceptive decorations. However, 1/4 ways through over here, you will now get that same benefit to mana oils, and over here it's once again back to deceptive decorations, but down here at the end you will have the same one to mana oils. So at the end you will have plus 50% additional oils when multicraft procs, which is absolutely insane, by the way. You can proc so many oils from one craft. Now, in addition to all of this, enchanting is also now a gold farming / shuffling profession. I mean, I say now, but it always has been, but it's really good now as well, where you can spec into Disenchanting, so designated disenchanter, and for this one, the main spec lets you get more skill points when disenchanting, and then you can spec into either green, blue, or purple equipment, so uncommon, rares, and epics, and just decide what you want to flip. For me, I've gone both the route of uncommon and rare, but not epic yet, and you can do green flips. You can literally make blacksmithing hammers with a blacksmith, send those to your enchanter, disenchant them, and make a bunch of gold. At the time of recording this, that is 60,000 gold per hour, by the way. Goes up and down all the time, but 60,000 gold per hour right now, which is competitive or better than most gold farms at the moment. So you can make more gold than farming by standing still and pressing one button over again, which is pretty insane. Now, prices have also picked back up on the shards, so doing rare resourcing and speccing down to the rare path is actually beneficial again, and you make a bunch of gold that way as well by making blue equipment and selling, sending that to your disenchanter and disenchanting it. Now, you can also make some gold by doing the same thing for epics with Dark Moon cards, but just pick your poison, pick your part, pick your path, go either uncommon, rare, or epic, or even go for all of them. Now, what I have done is once again chosen 2 out of 3, so I can do 2 shuffles but not all 3, and after that I have put points into everlasting enchantments to start spending my concentration in a wise way, so I can actually do enchants here and make gold on my concentration on my disenchanting character. So not only do we make gold now by disenchanting and doing shuffles or flips, we actually make passive gold as well by spending the concentration, so we're starting to put more points into that on my disenchanter as well. Now, it is worth noting that for a disenchanting, you do care about skill points, so to be a good disenchanter and make the most gold you can, you want to have 100 out of 100 skills, so max out enchanting, and after that, get 3 tools, so 1 disenchanting tool, or like just any tool, because you benefit from no stats at all. I would have resourcefulness though, to use either resourcefulness or ingenuity to use your concentration on, because for this disenchanting specifically, you benefit from no stats. Crafting speed doesn't work, resource doesn't work, multicraft doesn't work, nothing works there. So just get the tools, but get them in rare quality for the skill points. The tool on the rare has plus 18 and the accessories has plus 11, and skill points directly affect the outcome of the dust or shards or crystals that you are disenchanting for. So by having more skill points, you will get more quality 2s and more quality 3s and less quality 1, which is exactly what you want anyway. Now, I'm just gonna say this one more time. On my other enchanter where we specced into resourceful residue and had this one maxed out with 31% resourcefulness, I am making absolute bank, even if the enchants are at a break even, because once again, by maxing this one out, you will have another 50% materials saved when you proc resourcefulness, and you will have 31% chance to do so. So 31% chance to save almost half the cost sometimes. Like, once again, sometimes when I'm doing the enchants, which is for example over here, down to finesse and ingenuity, I am saving all of the dust, and when I'm doing stone-bound artistry, sometimes I save the Ringing Deep's ingot and the dust one more time, like 36 dust being saved in one go, which is like over half of the crafting cost being saved when you proc resourcefulness. So even if enchants at quality 3 are break even, I am making probably about 25% profit. which that's pretty good. If you spend 10,000 gold and sell something for 12,500 and you scale this to infinity and beyond, you can turn 10 million gold into 12.5. You can turn 100 million gold into 125. It's all about the margins here, and I don't think enchants will get to the break-even point at any time soon. I think they will always be somewhat profitable, but the point is, even if they look not profitable, speccing the right way will keep it profitable, and even if it doesn't, the profit will be from spending concentration. So concentration will make this really viable for a long time, and if you have any alts sitting around, I think enchanting is a very good pick for an alt army, especially for spending concentration mainly. So enchanting, really good for a primary profession, really good secondary, and also a really good profession to have on your alt army as well, and it can make gold by both crafting things and selling those things, or even shuffling. You can farm gold with enchanting, which is kinda cool, just standing still disenchanting stuff and making competitive gold per hour by simply doing that. Overall, I think, as a conclusion here, I think in about a month's time or 2 months' time, give or take, enchanting will be divided into two groups of people: the people that understands resourcefulness and the profitability behind it, and the people that don't. And the people that don't, they will simply see that the enchants are going for the same price on the auction house as the crafting cost, so they see this one costs you 12,500 to craft, and the enchant sells for the exact same, and they think to themselves, well, this is not profitable, you're losing gold to the auction house cut every single time. And then you have the people that actually understands how resourcefulness works, and you save 50% more every single time, and you have a lot of it as well, and they will simply keep printing. And the people that understand that, they will print a massive amount of gold. Enchants are being sold in heaps and buckets. It is one of the most sold types of commodities in WoW, outside of flasks and potions. So yeah, enchanting, really good, big thumbs up, and I can't wait to see how the future unfolds. And I really want to see how it goes when the raid comes out. Are the enchants going to go up in price by a lot, or are they going to go down? I am very interested to see how the market will react in the next couple of days or the next week or so. Either way, that's the video. That is my take on enchanting. That is pretty much what I have to share with you, I think, so far. And yeah, let me know your successes or failures with enchanting in the comments. As always, thank you for watching the video, I really do appreciate it. And if you want to have access to more of my gold making strategies and secrets and methods, then check out my War Within Goldmaking Guide through a link down below, where I cover gold making in depth. We talk about every single profession over there, we have deep dives into every single profession, and how to spend your knowledge points. In addition to that, we talk about how to spend concentration, and in general just how to make millions of gold. When you buy the guide, you also get early access to videos, exclusive videos, and access to a gold making Discord server. If that's interesting to you, the link is down below. Either way, thank you for watching, I will see you again in the next video very soon. Bye bye.